Live from SEMA 2019, it is Fuel Cult at the Magnaflow stage, booth, hut, whatever the hell you want to call it this year. We got to thank our gracious host for that, of course. To my left, I've got my co-host for the day, Mr. Patrick Tackett.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
And to my right, I have Sara and Theresa from LGE-CTS Motorsports.
Yes.
Well,
Thank you for having us.
Oh, yeah. It's our pleasure, honestly. And quite frankly, your PR firm that put us up, they know not to send us duds. So, yeah. I mean,
hopefully we don't disappoint.
They know exactly which of their clients they can put in front of a microphone and which they can't.
Oh.
Although we did have one where it was maybe questionable. Sounds like you guys heard about that.
We just laugh a lot, that's all.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, so LGE-CTS. First off, where are you guys out of?
We're in Southern California, San Dimas. San Dimas, yeah. So
do it. Say it. Bill and Ted.
I wanted to, but I didn't want to be that.
San Dimas High School football rules.
I did a documentary with Alex Winter not that long ago, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we're in Southern California, and the heart of the automotive industry is what I think. But,
yeah. Although Joe in the back might argue with that. He's from Detroit.
From Detroit. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. There's a little competition going there. East
little
Coast,
bit.
West Coast. Totally
They
get
built
it.
them initially, and then we fix them.
Yeah.
We make them look better.
You can't hear Joe in the background screaming, "Hey!"
Yeah.
I can hear him. We can't? No.
Yeah, that's all we have to do is hear his pain. Nothing else matters.
He might be able to cut us off, though, too.
Right.
So we better watch what we're saying.
He totally can. Okay. So what are you guys showing off at SEMA this year?
We brought 12 builds this year. And
Just 12?
Yeah, just 12.
Not a baker's dozen?
And those are like
cut it off.
full-size builds. We're not talking like quarter scale.
Well, so, we have a couple that are our own, but we actually work on cars, for other people. So there might be a paint job here and there or like a lift kit, things like that, some fabrication. So a little bit of everything, and our hands touched all those cars. But, our main builds, I think, are the 1968 Ford Bronco for Jay Leno.
Yeah, that you drew a bit of a crowd.
A little bit.
Yeah, did you see the
little bit.
pictures of the press
It
conference?
was record-breaking.
I mean, as far as the eye can see, crowd.
Right? It was really, really cool.
That was your build. Like, how is that as a builder, seeing that many people just...
So, being as short as I am, I couldn't see them. Not being up on stage with all of them, I kind of told everyone, building this thing, I mean, the anxiety level of doing this was like, it was a little high, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But like finally that moment of like walking on stage and Jay just putting his arm around me and giving me like a little hug, and I was like, there it is. Okay. There it is.
Plus,
I can finally breathe.
Plus, when you're in Good with Jay, you now have lifetime tickets to the Comedy Magic Club for free.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, if you could hit Jay up, but yeah, he'll hook you up. It's in Hermosa, so it's a little bit of a hike for you guys.
That's perfect.
That's not too bad.
So, all right, so you brought 12 cars. So you got Jay's Bronco. What else do you got?
We have a 2020 Ford Super Duty that's also in the Ford booth, and we got a design award for that one as well.
Very cool. What's done to that? What makes it different than a stock Super Duty?
Sarah, I'll let you take that one.
Well, thank you. So this one, we call it the Baja Ford Super Duty. Last year, we actually had a 2019 Ford Ranger that was in Ford's booth, and this one's like the big brother to that Ranger. So it actually has like the same color theme and everything like that. My sister's super into racing and like wants to be a race car driver.
Awesome.
Wants to
Please
be.
do.
Oh, sorry, she is. No, yeah. So when the Super Duty was out, we decided we wanted to start racing the Ranger and actually get it out there because it's actually one of like our favorite vehicles to drive, that Ranger.
I mean, the full-size trucks are just kind of too big at this point.
Yeah, and they're great for like towing and comfort for like long distance driving and stuff.
So that's what we made it for.
Yeah, they're utilitarian.
So
we made it as a chase truck.
Made it as a chase truck.
Yeah.
So it matches it, but it's really cool. I mean, we have the our Baja forged fiberglass fenders, but we did them all in carbon fiber this year. And we have our front bumper that we made and our roof rack, and we have the 4.5-inch Icon suspension on there because we love our Icon suspension.
We just had the Icon guys.
Oh, did you?
About 40 minutes ago, yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
They were like, why weren't we on with you guys?
We do a lot of things with them.
Always out in the desert having fun.
It
with
would have
them.
been great, but honestly, to feature both of you guys properly,
individually,
we
give
need
you the time to
We
put it
know.
out.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So it's a chase truck, but we also have it like like overland chase type thing, like in the back as a prong utility bed on it. And actually, we made it so it has like the ARB awnings that come out, but we can actually pull everything off, move it all forward, and slide it into each other. And now we can tow a fifth wheel with it. So it actually has like very good like versatility to and function to the builds. And that's what we really like about when we do stuff. We want it to have a purpose and be able to function.
So I want it to look good.
Yeah.
So this is kind of focused on the one person that wants to have weekend adventures but still needs to drive it every day.
Yeah, exactly. Like we like the look of like a truck being a truck. You know, because sometimes it's just too overkill. So it's nice because it has a roof rack, but the rooftop tent comes down, so it still has like the side profile of a truck.
I was going to say, you don't want to climb up a ladder just to get into the driver's seat?
Right. And it does have amp boards on it, so it is lifted. It's 5 inches with the Icon suspension on it, but with the amp boards, it still has that clean look and everything too as well.
I mean, aesthetics are obviously very important, but would you say that you're more focused on the functionality first?
Oh yeah,
both.
Yeah. We always tell people
they're hand in hand.
You can have design and something can look beautiful, but to us, it still has to be able to function and be able to use it.
So like,
it's not one or the
It's
other.
gotta be a nice place to be.
So to me, like you could put a million different things on a car and it can look gaudy because you can throw and slap a bumper on it, right? Big, huge bumper. That's not.
I have my things that I absolutely hate in this building right now.
Okay, and I am not about that. I don't want things smacked on. It's like if we're putting it on, it has to look right. It has to enhance the vehicle in some way. It has to enhance the overall look of what we started with.
So,
it's not throwing it away. It's just making it better.
How do you feel about the chromed out bro trucks with the massive body lifts and LCD panels in the wheel wells?
Does my face tell you anything?
Yes, it does. But here's the problem: is the listeners can't see that. Yeah.
So it's maybe just not my style, you know. I mean, everyone has their own style, you know, and that's the thing is when you come to the show, like that. The part I love about it is you see all these new trends and different people's take on something, you know. And our take is just a little more tailored and, you know.
Tasteful.
I paused for that word. I
can
paused.
say, you guys, I'm not going to put it on you. I'll bag on those things all day long.
When you have a concept idea for a car, how often do you actually get the final product to be that concept?
People have asked that. You know, I guess, you know, when you get something, yes, something on paper, when it's 2D, it is not the same.
No, completely
and people
different.
don't realize that. So I'm a designer and a custom painter. So I can design something on there, but when I actually go to paint something, like some of the graphics don't line up, you know, the body lines are a little different. You really have to take all of that into an account and in consideration. So, you know, maybe it's like I don't know, 10 to 15%, you know, variation or something. It has the overall look and feel and idea. But of course we have to make it so when you're actually touching the vehicle, things change.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys have a booth on premises then?
No, we never do.
No, you don't?
We just build cars for the show.
Okay.
Always have.
Well, you said painter there for a second.
I'm sorry. You mean paint booth.
Okay, yeah.
You meant she thought you meant booth here at the show. We have a paint booth.
Okay, cool.
At our shop. Yeah.
At our shop we have a paint booth and we use all the PPG. We have a full mixing room.
Yeah.
And then we have a full fab shop.
That's got to be, I mean, just logistically, like most paint booths are set up for doing cars. You guys are doing some trucks that get rather large.
Oh, yeah, we have a bigger booth. Yeah,
I was going to say, I've never even seen a paint booth like that. Is that like a custom order at that point or what?
No, it just, I mean, we made a little bit. You can, yes. Any of the paint booths, they're all modular. So you either extend them. Like if you actually take a look at them, they're like, oh, really? You can extend them by 3 feet or the height a little bit and stuff. So they have different sizes that you can
you paint them before they get lifted and everything.
Oh,
so
okay. That would make sense too.
We did like the Mickey Thompson, Ford F-150, and it's black and red over in their booth and stuff. It has 43-inch tires on. We didn't paint it with those tires on.
Or just put like 15s on it that are just large enough to clear
there
the
you go.
downforce.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So it looks funny. It's all lifted with like tiny tires on it, but it'll fit
I remember seeing when I was a kid. We went to the Worcester Centrum to go see monster trucks.
Huge.
Yeah. Sunday. Yeah, exactly. And I remember when they wheeled Bigfoot out of the trailer. It was on these little tiny, tiny. And they weren't even,
yeah.
and they were skinny tires too.
Yeah.
I mean, but we're talking the early 80s.
They have
as
to be
well, so-
narrow
They
to
have
get
to
in the
fit in the
trailer.
trailer.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's
they
always
had
the
to have a
worst.
whole nother trailer just for their tires.
They literally.
Literally.
They
Well, then
literally
speaking
do.
of transport, you had 12 vehicles. How many of those were you responsible getting to the show?
So
Five.
we use the Super Duty to actually pull our Ford Escape that's also in the Ford booth too. So we use that truck and trailer, so it got to be used the way it was intended. And then we had our Expedition from last year actually came back, and it's in the Rockland booth, and that got to tow a side-by-side that we have out front by the Shell out front. That we actually did that with an ROP program with Yen and with automotive students that we work with as well.
Yeah, we're on a board for
Yeah.
automotive school in San Dimas.
Okay, I want to
Now
hear about
that's
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, please, more.
So we sit on the board for a school called the Xydias Center for Automotive Arts. Yes, long
bless
name.
you.
Yeah, thank you. And basically we call it AXE, and it's a program that is for high school students to in. We have 12 students per class, like 12 to 15 students. And it basically is a class, it's like 101 to 104. And they get 4 out of the 8 certifications from ASE.
Wow, that's nice.
But yeah, but it's cool because we get to work. We try to, it's a whole bunch of hot rodders that actually started it. I mean, it's Xydias. I don't know if you guys.
Honestly,
Xydias.
I don't.
He started
Okay.
a SoCal Speed Shop back in 1945.
okay,
He did land
okay.
speed racing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I mean, I know the speed
he's-
shop, obviously.
And he actually started the SEMA Show as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was one of the
It's
first.
great.
Yeah.
He's like
Feel
the
like
grandfather of everything. He
I
will
know
be out.
some of these old guys. Like,
Yeah.
I know Gail Banks fairly well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
like,
fantastic.
You know, a
yeah.
lot of these guys I've met before, but not all.
Yeah.
I mean, not all of these guys going back to the 50s and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, you can
It's
only
like-
know so much.
It's like
I know.
literally,
Right.
it's like the heart and soul of like where a lot of this started. Where it came from and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
So what we do too as well with the students is we make sure they actually come to the SEMA show. We knew that was like a huge part of them not just knowing like, hey, we're getting into automotive, but everyone thinks like, oh, you get into automotive, it's a mechanic. You're dirty, you're greasy, and that's all
Right.
you're doing. And it's like, dude, look at this. This is not that job. Look.
And it's
Look
got to
at
be
what it
amazing
is.
for the students because one, they are techs, they're learning the skill,
Yeah.
but then to come to this show, which is so grandiose, there's so
Right?
many booths, there's so
It
many
is,
options.
yeah.
If you have even the tiniest little passion in one direction or the other,
Yeah.
there's something for you here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, and the SEMA education side of it is amazing. Like, they do so well with it in the scholarship program. And a lot of those kids don't even know that SEMA offers scholarship programs.
Yeah.
And they also have relief. So it's like if people have like, loans and stuff from school and they're in the automotive trade that was for the automotive trade, like SEMA helps with those. So
it's
have
just bringing
the
awareness
forgiveness
to
and
things like
yeah,
that.
so it's like us being able to bring the connection to our students is like huge, and like getting them here and getting excited to see like what this industry is actually about, because I don't know about, this is like my 23rd SEMA show.
Nice.
And every time I come here, I'm just as excited because I get so passionate again about like our industry. I get to meet
Yeah.
people that are just as passionate as I am about what we do, and it's like I love to be around that family and just have that
We tell
feeling.
people
and
we're like, this is our family
this is our
here.
family. Yeah.
It really is. Our automotive family is like everyone comes here and you all meet.
It's a reunion
you're
every
walking
year.
down the aisles and you're like, what's up? You see, like I'm like, hey, like every single person. Like this is our family.
Do
It's
you
really cool.
funnel any of your students to the engine build that they have outside?
They've done some of that before.
Yeah,
yes,
they have.
Yes, some of those things they've taken part of.
Yeah, and we actually met a student yesterday. So random. So like walking by and we're
Like
talking,
midnight at night,
Yeah,
standing
and this
outside.
guy like just starts talking to us, and we're sitting there and we're like, "Oh, what do you do?" And he's like, "Oh, I just started my own business, and so this is my first SEMA show coming out as my own business." And I'm just kind of walking around and we're talking, and he ended up being a student from AXE.
Oh, no
Yeah.
kidding.
And we were
Yeah.
like, "What?
We've
No,
never
we're
met
still on
him
the
before.
board." Like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So it was super rad.
it's
to-
working.
Yeah,
You know,
Small world, but it works out
one
great.
person
Yeah.
at a time, right?
Awesome.
definitely.
So.
So, from your shop, like, what are the key services you guys offer? Obviously, you're doing these big builds, but it looks like there's a handful of other things that you offer. Can you elaborate on that
Yeah.
for some of the listeners?
So maybe going back a little bit. So LGE stands for LNG Enterprises. That was Louie and Jerry. It's our parents that started it. They started an auto body shop back in the day, doing a lot of like insurance work and collision repair. So we still do that part of it
Boring,
as
but
well.
like money.
Right? 100%. Yeah.
We all need money.
And then the CTS part is our custom truck shop. And so that got started a few years later because we've always been into off-roading. Our dad was always doing, lift kits and wheels and tires and accessories. She got into the accessories side of it more. Sara more knows like, the technical side of it with like wheels, tires, lift kits and stuff. And then I'm more of like
stuff,
and I'm more of like the design aspect of it, and painting and stuff like that. So yes, we do collision repair. We outfit a lot of vehicles. So, we do a lot of Jeeps and Raptors because that's what we're into. She drives a Jeep.
Well,
I drive a Raptor.
You guys are in San Dimas. Of course you're doing Raptors.
Yeah,
Right?
Totally. So we're doing, lift kit, wheels, tires, gears, bumpers, things like that.
Yeah.
The usual.
Upgrades and stuff.
The
And then
usual.
painting. Yeah.
So this goes back to your parents had that. And when did you say that started that again?
82.
82.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're second generation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They
82.
just retired last year. So this is our full first year. We did all those builds on our own with our shop and everything. So this is pretty cool.
Are they happy with handing things over?
I think it was. I'm not gonna lie. I think it was a little hard, but yeah.
Really?
They've been good. I totally
Clearly
get
there's success
that.
there, so
yeah,
But I'm sure
Obviously,
you
they're
two
pretty
have been
happy
working
about
in
it.
the shop since you were children.
we
Right. Yeah.
She said we got a paycheck about 20 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's like, when did you start working? I was like, well,
All
I
our
started
lives.
receiving a paycheck when I was 15. So but
holding
we've
a
always
flashlight
been
for the
there.
15 years
Yeah.
before.
I tell
that.
people, I'm like, I like body lines on cars. I'm like, I'm pretty sure because it was like I was 2 years old when I was like in the garage with my parents, like helping them
Yeah.
sand cars. Like.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is this a personal passion that started it, and then obviously the family part was already there, or was it
Yeah.
the family part that got you into it?
Yeah, definitely.
Both.
I mean, it was both.
I
Yeah.
think it's both. Yeah.
I mean, my parents, we've always been around the shop and building stuff. Off-roading was huge for our family. Or
Grew up in the back of a Bronco.
Yeah. And it's funny because like my dad was a crew chief on a Formula One tunnel boat. And I used to, it's like people, I'm like, oh yeah, we used to go on vacations. Well, I guess they weren't really vacations. It was wherever the races were, we would go. And I
totally.
was like,
Yeah, we were out there doing that kind of stuff.
and they would tease, and I was like, oh yeah, like, hotels that have like bathroom or bathtubs and stuff, it'd always be like a motor torn down, like in the bathtub, so he could be running it. And it's like, but that's what we grew up around. We grew up around all of that kind of
transmission
stuff.
change in
And
the living room.
yeah,
Seriously. Yeah. No, really.
our garages were always had cars torn down for whatever builds we were working on. And it's like, when we were 13, it was like our dad gave us our first cars to build, and he made us build them from the ground up, and that
What
was
were
part
they?
of it.
Yeah.
Oh, mine was a 70 El Camino.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was a 76 Camaro.
Oh, so
Okay.
right in the same wheelhouse then.
Yeah. So
I like Fords better though.
totally.
Were the builds very different between the two of you, or because, like I said, it's a
Yeah.
similar platform? So
No, they were totally different.
Yeah, they were different. He let
Yeah.
us. I mean, my dad. It was like the big thing. It was like he let us have control over the design and everything. So it
Yeah.
was very much like what we wanted, because he wanted to make sure that we loved it, and it wasn't like we were being forced
and they
to
couldn't.
do it.
They're like,
and-
you're not representing our shop poorly.
right.
Yeah. Mine had Kragers on it. It was all body trim matched bumpers and stuff. It was a midnight blue, and then I blacked out all my like door handles and things like that and stuff.
Thank you for not doing chrome.
Yeah.
I'm not
Right. No,
so
no
if you look
chromoly.
at any of our builds, most of it I like to paint. So I do a lot of matte finishes and stuff, with things. I'm a big gold fan, so most of our stuff is either bronze or gold.
Then you'll appreciate my. I've got a C6 that is black. The accents are all super dark gray, and then I've got
Oh, I like that.
I've got
Opposite
bronze
like
wheels
that.
going
Good.
on it.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I have to see that.
No, it's a fun car.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that thing is stupid. I love that thing.
Yeah.
So, you guys working on trucks mostly? Do you ever get the odd car that actually comes in the shop these days?
Oh yeah, no, we work on cars too. We've done. We actually did like a 1932 Roadster with AXC that we built a few years back. That Barrett Jackson auctioned off as well and stuff. And that was here a couple years back.
That
and,
sounds like a lot of body work.
Yeah, I did the paint and body work on that in like less than a week, and it was. I'm probably most proud of that, the bodywork and paint job I did on that car.
Was that the red
I
and
did
tan
bodywork, paint, and the color sand and buff fully on that one by myself. So
I mean, for better or worse, the bar is set so high for Deuces that like everybody goes over the top of it.
yeah,
Right. And it was a copy of the McGee car.
Yes,
so it was
thank
like,
you. Yeah.
we had to make sure that it was, it was good. And I mean, it's going to Bear Jackson and we need to bring in as much money as we can for our charity. So it was like,
So no,
want
we
to make sure it was.
Yeah, we like everything. I mean, it's like anything. Like, I guess we're just into motorsports, Like that's what it. Yeah, I love riding motorcycles
Like,
too.
yeah, we're into motorcycles.
We build, like. So you guys are familiar with Jessie Combs?
Yeah.
So
I knew Jessie.
Yeah. So she was my best friend. We built a motorcycle together a few years back that was in the BMW booth. It was a BMW
I remember that bike.
R9T.
I loved her personal bike too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Harley
Yeah.
or the Triumph?
The Triumph.
Oh,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Triumph. Yeah, that was a hand built. So like even like, so we like everything. We like motorcycles. We like riding on the streets. We like riding off road.
Yeah.
And
Just
apparently giving
into
back
it.
to the automotive community too.
Yeah, we want to see more people get into this. And I mean, as a shop owner ourselves, like you see the lack of technicians wanting to get into it and reaching out there. So that's, our goal too, as well, is to help influence the industry to get more of those people excited, the young generation to get excited
Yeah.
about it.
And Theresa actually owns a nonprofit that
It was with Jessie
started.
Yeah,
It's
called Real Deal Revolution.
Yeah. We had her on a few times to promote that back
Awesome.
when I was still doing Smoking Tires. So
Yeah, good. Yeah. So, and it's funny. It was nothing, everyone's like, well, why didn't she just push that? Well, it wasn't ever about her and she didn't want it to be, it was always about these other women that we wanted to bring up. And so, we just recently did Babes Ride Out. It has 1,500 women that go to this event. They all ride motorcycles there. Her and I, that was like one of the first things we did together is like we rode our motorcycles out to Babes Ride Out and we were like, dude, we need to do something here. And that's kind of where like Real Deal kind of started to happen.
for what it's worth, anytime I meet, any girls that are like into this stuff, and I'm like, go search for Real Deal when you get home.
Awesome. Thank you.
So
Yeah.
I always
I'll leave you some stuff then too.
thank you. That would
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah,
great.
Cool.
we had Mustang Marine here yesterday. We were talking about a lot of that kind of
Nice.
stuff. We just had the name escapes me right now. We had another drag racer in first thing this
Rad.
morning, and it seems like the big commentary is that no matter how progressive this industry gets, you're still banging your head against the wall as a female tech or as a female worker in the auto industry because you have to prove your passion before
100%.
anything else.
Right.
And so it's really nice to hear that there are organizations that are working on the other end of that spectrum to say, we want more in this industry. And
you know what?
And to really prove that the passion is there, the work ethic is there,
Yes.
and it's equal across the board.
Anybody
Yes.
can turn a wrench. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter who you are.
Right.
Correct. And that's the thing too, is I think sometimes as a female, sometimes we forget that guys have to push themselves just as hard. They're still having to earn the respect as well. So it's not just as females that we're doing that. I understand that. I don't care, as a builder.
Yeah.
I have to earn respect from people.
Everybody starts
male
sweeping
or-
the shop.
Right.
we're still building stuff that people have to earn the respect of that. So yes, it's still hard, and we're trying to, as Real Deal Revolution, we're trying to create an environment that is more inviting and bringing those people in. Because yes, I understand there's the guys with the egos and stuff like, you can't do this kind of thing. There is that. So we want to give them the opportunity to come in and see that they can do it, and put that out there and just keep growing that community.
Of course.
Yeah.
So-
we obviously own a shop and it's like, yeah, we're a women owned shop. And then people are like, oh, it's only all women. I was like,
No.
we're the owners of a shop. And yeah, we work with guys all day long and everyone's
Yeah.
like, oh, isn't that so hard? Like, how do they respect you? And I was like,
It's our culture.
Yeah,
It's
and it was
what
like-
we've created for them to respect us.
Yeah.
And they know if they go out there and I'm like, nope, you guys didn't do this right. Do this. I go out there and physically do it and show them how to do it. It's not,
Definitely, yeah.
just that, I'm telling them to do something and walking away. Nope. I'm there with them working on it next to them. So
Right.
they know what we're expecting.
Good.
So how many people do you guys employ at this point?
13.
All right, that's pretty
It's a
good
good-sized
size
shop.
shop.
Yeah.
Do you do interior work there too, or
We have a local guy that comes, Rogelio's. He's like down the street from us. He does fantastic work.
I asked
and
because
I am
I'm
all
looking for
about
somebody
interiors.
good in the area.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah. He's amazing.
He's totally
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we love him. He did the interior on that Bronco up there too. Oh, it's beautiful.
Okay, very cool.
So tailored.
I'll have to get their info. Like, I met some guys but they're all the way up. They do amazing work, but they're all the way up in Sacramento. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's too far.
Yeah. He's in Irwindale.
Yeah, he's right down the street from us.
Okay. I will
So-
have to. I'll get the info.
Yeah,
from
he
you
does
guys.
street rods. He does everything. So yeah, his work's amazing.
Yeah. So you've got a long history in off road. What the hell can we do to get the off road community to realize that rally cars are just as fun and they go faster?
How do we get them to know? What do you mean?
Like-
How do we
like
get
out
them to
here in the
realize?
States,
Well,
like-
Tanner just walked by.
I know he did. I didn't catch him until the last minute.
We've actually
I would have
built-
been waving too.
We've
yeah.
built cars for him too in the past too
Which
as
ones
well.
did you build?
So we did a Ford Focus that won a design award for. We did a Fiesta for him as well.
I'm missing my Fiesta.
Yeah, they're fun, huh?
Yeah, I sold it. I needed something a little more practical. Unfortunately, I had mine fully built out. The only thing I didn't have on it was long travel. Yeah, that car had everything Mountune makes, and I did full chassis reinforcements on the whole thing.
Nice.
You would lift a leg everywhere I went. It was so much
It was
fun.
hilarious.
Nice,
Yeah.
That
nice,
thing wanted you to drive like a hooligan 24/7.
right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Oh no, and I think that crossover is getting there. I think a lot of people are starting to realize that and stuff too. So definitely that. I mean, yes, I'm not gonna lie, the Escape up there, we wanted it to be a little more off-road looking, but they wanted it tailored more towards a different demographic and stuff. But that's our goal, is always to get things out in the dirt, always.
Yeah.
Anything and everything. Yeah.
So what can we do to help?
Yeah.
What can we do to help? Build some cool rally cars.
Done.
Yeah. You know what you should do is, because they're cheap and people are catching on, get a 996 that's just in rough shape and do a Safari 996. Because everybody did it with 993s and 964s, but a 996 just because they're the ugly stepchild. Who cares?
I love it. I
Who
love
cares
it.
if you tear it apart?
Everyone always comes to us and they're like, "This needs to be your next build." And we're like, "Cool, okay."
Yeah, I know.
No, right? No, we have a long
I was
laundry
gonna say,
list.
do you have a dream book?
I have. Oh yeah, I have my own. I'm like, and it will be. It will be someday. It's 1960 F100. I'm all. It'll be in the Ford booth someday.
Yeah, those
I
are
don't
cool
even.
cars.
I don't even have it yet.
Yeah. That's
I already know what I'm building though.
Sarah,
It's
what's your
incredible.
dream
what
one?
both odds would.
I don't know if I necessarily have a dream. Maybe a Bronco.
Well, that's funny that
Motorcycle.
it's a Bronco now, but yeah.
Well, now it is because I'm getting all excited about
She's the
them.
Jeep girl.
I am a Jeep girl. I like to off road. I like to crawl up stuff. So, I don't know. Right now, I've been more like, I really want to build like a
racer.
cafe racer really
Yeah.
bad.
Oh,
so,
that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a motorcycle right now, so I've been kind of like, oh my god, I don't have a motorcycle. Like
Missing
I
it.
sold my bike because I thought if I keep my bike and I don't sell it, I'm not going to build something. So I need to like sell it, and I sold it, and now I'm like, oh man, I miss my bike so much. Like so many times, I'm like, I just want to go for a ride, and I can't.
Yeah.
So then I got to go.
I don't know how you do it all the time. I get so, like, I'm not the world's most proficient rider by any stretch, but I just get so nervous in LA with the way people drive there.
Oh yeah, I'm not a fan
Because
of
I'm
driving in like downtown
I'm
LA.
in the city, so it's
Yeah.
like I'm in Redondo. I'm in wall-to-wall traffic all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I had so many sketchy things with like people trying to run me off the road and everything, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about it. I'm not the best rider in the world, so I'm gonna let it go.
I'm back
Yeah.
on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I just miss lane splitting because that's not an option out there.
So like Jesse and I were totally like that. It was funny because like the first time I rode with her, she's like, I like you. You can keep up with me. And we are lane splitters. We were like always through traffic and stuff. And people like, you guys are crazy. And we're like, yeah, I
Yep.
know.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the
she
fun
used to-
part of
But it
this.
gets you there for sure.
We'd always have, we'd always do the podcast around 5:00 at Culver City, and she'd shoot up from Long
Always.
Beach in no time.
Right?
When
Always a motorcycle.
When she was living at the shop, I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, that's the coolest thing.
Right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
I love her shop. It was nice.
yeah,
I know.
that was a really cool setup. And she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, don't say anything to anybody. about it.
Yeah. Now it doesn't matter, huh?
No, it
I know.
doesn't.
Oh, her place was rad. Oh, no, we stayed there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. San Dimas, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Have you always been to San Dimas?
Yeah.
Square footage wise, how big is the shop?
12,000.
Okay. Pretty good size.
Yeah.
How many lifts do you have?
That was my next question.
We have two
two.
lifts.
I love seeing people's shops just
Yeah.
to like see what everybody does. Everybody does
Cool.
it a little differently.
Yeah.
So it's always curious to kind of see what it does.
Yeah.
Who's done what, and then lift also steal ideas.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a paint booth, we have a frame rack, we have two lifts, we have a fabrication area, and we also have an outdoor, like an outside area too as well. Like
Yeah.
so,
Well, most
Yeah.
shops that do paintwork
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
always do.
yeah.
So, okay, walking around here, what have you seen that is really cool from other people that you were like, I wish I had done
We
that?
haven't been able to.
We
walk
haven't been able to walk around.
yet.
Oh.
Yeah, same problem for us.
I like.
We're like doing these
Yeah,
things,
this is our
right?
home
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, the car of the show definitely this year is the Supra.
Oh, I heard
really?
that.
They're everywhere.
No, we've heard that. And then someone said, like, do you remember when it was PT Cruisers?
Oh, God. Wait, PT Cruisers were a thing here? I've only been coming for like 8 years, so.
So she said 23. Mine, I'm 29 years I've been coming to SEMA Show, so yeah.
And it's funny. So I actually sit on the SEMA Show committee. And so it's like one of the things we always talk about is like, what do you think the car is going to be this year? Oh, it's this, like, and that's actually one of our discussions. And I'm like, why are we talking about this on SEMA Show committee? But it's all because we just want to know, like, what do you think it's going to be?
Yeah.
Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? Like,
Well, it would have been the
That's
C8
speculation.
if the strike hadn't hit and they'd had cars to give
Oh,
out.
right?
Yeah, it
You
would have
know.
been that.
Oh, yeah.
That's delayed. Apparently, the deliveries are now all the way delayed into February for the first cars.
Yep, into 2020.
Now
That's gorgeous.
unlike every other car, it's actually a 2020.
That was good. That's awesome.
So, what do you think of the Supra?
I haven't really, I know, I'm not on that side. I guess, like, car-wise, I don't really, like,
Yeah.
I'm not into that as much.
It doesn't even
and people
strike you
even
one
like
way
the
or another.
GT500 right now, like that just came out and all the now the cool thing is is the power plants inside of the Bronco. So
Right.
that has 760 horsepower. But like as a car, people are like, "Don't you like driving cars?" I don't drive cars as much. We get more into like off-road and stuff. I'm like, but I like to go fast. So, I mean,
Yeah, she drives a Raptor that's supercharged. That's her daily driver.
So, but yeah, car. I just haven't even.
Did you do
I
the
haven't
work
even looked
yourself
at it
with the
yet.
supercharger? Was it your own tack-on, or was it
No,
a box buy?
Whipple
no,
did it.
Whipple did that originally because they had prototyped it.
What's the displacement on that blower? Do you know?
I think she's
630.
Okay, that's a large displacement on that twin screw.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. That's bigger
And
than
they're
Pretty
not slow
fun.
to
it's
start out with,
bigger than the
so-
Roush one. Yeah,
yeah, because most people go with just like the Eaton units instead of the Whipples. But like the Whipple stuff, I remember when they were so rare in terms of the application, and they didn't build them for anything, and now it seems like they got them out for everything.
yeah.
Yeah, they do.
I love it. It's been great.
But over the years, the funny thing is, like the Eatons now have gotten so complex, they're almost like a twin screw. They've got 4 rotor Eatons.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's they kind of met in the middle.
Yeah.
Now, would you ever turbo the Raptor?
Oh yeah. No, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a very different experience for the supercharger.
Yeah. No, it is. On all of our vehicles, we have the pedal commanders. Have you even heard of those?
No, I've not.
So pedal commanders are cool. All it does is change the throttle response time.
Okay.
And I'm like, it's a couple $100. I'm telling people, I'm like, dude, you have to get one of these because like you seriously like literally from like 1.5 seconds to like instant, you like step on your pedal and you're like, whoa, it moves. We put one in every car that we have now. We're like, oh my God, they're amazing. It's just like little things like that, like
Yeah, just make the experience nicer. Make it a little smoother.
why do you put an exhaust on or whatever? It's like, oh yeah, the sound, but also, it gives you a little more horsepower and stuff, little things like that. So.
Yeah, I always end up editing basically that in the ECU rather than.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Same
Oh.
effect.
Yeah.
Well, because everyone can do that,
Yeah,
I was like, yeah.
everybody keeps.
I just edit that in the ECU.
everybody keeps HP tuners around, right?
Got it. Yeah.
Do you guys compete at all? I know you guys have your own off-roading, lifestyle and whatnot, but do you actually get into any competitions or anything? No?
So I've done. I have raced with Jessie in the past. So we've done Ultra 4 racing. I did Baja with her as well too and stuff. I've raced the Mint 400 in a trophy light and stuff like
How
that
was
as
that?
well. Oh, fantastic! Oh, I love racing. Just getting my budget there to get it. So
Racing's
that comes along with it. If
Yeah.
people don't realize that, so no, I really truly love it. So yeah, that's the goal with the Ranger too, is to get out there more and stuff. So
Consumables have got to be real expensive on off-road trucks too.
yeah, I mean, people don't realize how many tires you go through. How
Brakes, clutch,
and going through the entire thing again. Yeah, that's what people don't realize. Like, oh, okay, I'm done with it, and you're like, yeah, start all over
For
again.
now.
That was one thing that I loved about the Fiesta is that consumables were so cheap.
Cheap,
I
yeah.
could put
It's
a really
fun.
good set of tires on that for $500,
Right?
Yeah.
versus that's what I pay for one on
One.
the vet.
Yes.
I think that's why too, like a lot of the younger generation gets into like the drifting
Yeah.
stuff too, because I think
Cost-wise.
it's like cost wise it's a little more effective. Like
Yeah,
you can
buy
start
used
out
tires
with
and stuff too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you can start out with like a cheaper platform, I think, and then build it up to
Yeah,
what they
I mean,
want,
240s were the big thing, but
Yeah.
they're
Right.
it's hard to find a 240 that hasn't been just destroyed in Southern California at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah.
So you're getting to see some stuff like it's actually even some people that are starting to try out like F bodies. The C5 Vets is popular platform. It's starting to be a popular platform
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But it's a lot like with motorcycle driving. Like you start with a 250cc, go to 3, 4, 5, up to 1,000.
Right.
Whereas drift cars, same thing. You start with a lower car where you learn your skills, you beat up
Yeah.
on it, and then as you build it faster and as you get to a higher platform, like you're growing with it.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that the drift parts are starting to come out for the Vets. And that means I've got more options for control arms and angle. I'm not a drifter. I mean, I'll just like anybody else. It's enjoyable to throw it sideways every now and then. But yeah, just having the options for all that, because the drifters just, honestly, the stuff they do on the suspension is so nice because there's so much adjustability in it.
Yeah.
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 Isn't it crazy the way all the suspensions are tuned like this now?
Beautiful.
It's insane.
I love the engineering behind it.
And even the new Raptors are going to be like that too now. Everything's like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, sure you do too.
All about that ECU again, huh?
Oh, yeah.
It is. It's all about controlling all of that. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Magnetorheological shocks. That's what the.
God bless you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, I could say like any one of the brand names, but it is what it is. I'm going to call it what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of, have you messed with that on any of your builds? Any of the magnetic ride shocks?
No, all the ones that we have right now just has a bypass to cut them
Reservoir.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious just because I want to see, kind of tracking the development of that. Obviously, that was big in a lot of kind of performance cars and stuff like that. So I'm just curious when that's going to start hitting the off-road scene hard, because there's so much variability there. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. I mean, I know they have the technology on it and stuff, but like the aftermarket side hasn't really like
Yeah. It's a big R&D bill on those things.
Right. Yeah. So I'm thinking that probably like next year we'll probably start to see it more because they have time to actually play with it now.
Yeah.
So
I bet you we'll see it on the Raptor sooner than later.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the next gen or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think
so.
so.
Yeah. Are you guys rooting for either Dodge or Chevy to come out and actually compete with it, or what?
I'm a Ford
We're
girl.
Ford. Yeah.
Oh, now we're.
Oh.
Just kidding. Used to be more Chevy and Jeep, no? She's like, no, I like Fords.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to like
Yes,
things.
I don't know. You're the one that's telling me I'm not. So
I don't know. To be honest, at this point, like, I don't think there's a bad option among the three. They're all building really, really capable
Yeah.
stuff these days.
Yeah.
It's just Ford's the one that tells you the really good off-road package right out of the box.
Right?
So-
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Rebel and stuff with Dodge, I mean, that's been pretty cool. I mean, some of the technology. It obviously, yes, it's not.
I had the ZR2 for a little while as a press car, and that thing,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a fair amount smaller, but
Yeah.
I like the fact you can get that with the diesel, too.
Yeah.
It'd be cool
Yeah.
if Ford offered it with the Raptor with a diesel option.
Yeah. And would you have a 2500 or did you have a 1500?
I had
Chevy.
both. I had a 1500 first, and then I had the 2500.
Oh, yeah,
HD.
yeah.
Yeah, and then now I have a
Extra cab.
Super Duty, and,
Yeah.
and a Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
Which I love my Jeep Wrangler. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I do love it.
Yeah.
Manual, auto. What do you got going on it?
It's an automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 2015. Just a little.
She goes to Moab all the time, Easter Jeep Safari, that kind of
That's
stuff.
that's basically
That's what
what those
it's there
things are
for,
built
yeah, it's
for.
great.
Right?
So
So when SEMA wraps up, what's next? What do you got on the docket?
We're going to the Saudi Arabia.
you
shows.
guys,
Oh, nice.
you guys, yeah. That's a lot of the people that we know here are all getting ringed into that. They're like, oh, we don't want to go so soon after SEMA.
Right? I'm like, oh, it's
It's-
like 5 days. We're
it's a
home
lot.
and then gone
Yeah.
for 10 days, and then it's Thanksgiving
Yeah,
weekend.
20 hours of
and-
flying and
Yeah.
Right? I know. We're like, what are we going to do? Okay.
Yeah, it's in Riyadh actually, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, the good news is there's a lot of money being kicked around there. So,
Yeah.
You
it's-
know, and we thought like it's interesting. Like, I guess we have to go see it. Can't not, you know.
Yeah, we did a
So-
Ford Expedition build a couple years back, and we've got a lot of response from that area
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
So we know that going over there might help with that too. So.
that, and I love their hill climb stuff. Those things are batshit crazy.
Yeah,
Oh.
I've seen some of them.
I haven't.
They do hill climb drag races in the sand.
Yeah.
Oh,
because they're
fun.
because the dunes are like crazy big.
Completely
They're everyone's like,
vertical.
I think you might find me doing that.
It's going to be
I
you
have
and a
to-
bunch of guys in white robes out in the middle
I
of
was gonna say 2
nowhere,
weeks
just
from
going.
now we'll see a
Cool.
video with you just rooster
I have a white robe. I can bring my white robe.
Yeah,
she does have a white robe.
so yeah, it's
I stole one the other night.
yeah. Of course, that's what you get to do.
She jumped in the pool at the CAT scan party, so then she had to wear like
A robe.
she had a white robe.
You're becoming my new favorite person here. That's fantastic. It's like, if you're at these parties, why wouldn't you get in the pool?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. That's what
Well, she was
everyone
bet
knows.
$6 to do it, so
Yeah.
Even better.
Well,
she got
hold-
paid to do it.
I mean,
Golf
$6.
yeah.
I mean, you got to do it. For
You can't
$6 whole
say no.
dollars. Yeah.
Who we had here was playing penny slots. Woke up the next day, had $1,000 in his pocket. from
Whoa.
it. So $6 goes a long way, Chris.
There you go.
Well, but we also made the point of we don't know what actually came out of his bank account.
Correct.
before
Yeah,
he
we don't
found
know
that
the
thing.
withdrawals that he made to make that happen.
Got
That's
it.
true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, it's an easy town to get dragged into. Let's say interesting
Into
adventures.
the pool.
Yeah.
One year, I ended up in a rental car with 3 rally drivers. Yeah, that was.
That
Sounds
sounds
fun.
like fun. I know.
car doesn't
I want to
exist
do that.
Yeah, we were at one point. We were in a parking garage jumping floors.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Isn't that what rental cars are made for?
$10 insurance.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. How can you not?
best $12 I ever spent in my life. I completely destroyed a Chrysler 200.
It deserved it.
And it did. I did the world a favor. It wasn't even doing anything crazy.
What did you do? Let's hear it.
I
Let's
was
hear it.
leaving Disneyland, and it was cool out, and it was damp, and I was in the car, and my glasses fogged up, and I hit a light pole right on at low speed, but it totaled it out.
Oh, man.
And the great thing
But
is,
it was fun. I like that you say it was fun
It
doing
was
all
worth
that.
it.
oh yeah, no, it was. I mean, it wasn't fun waiting like 6.5 hours for Enterprise to come and pick me up
Right?
because I'm in the middle of nowhere, Anaheim,
Right.
Disneyland.
An hour from anything.
But the great thing is when I get back to the location by LAX, is they then had to give me another car because I'd given them the $12 a day.
Exactly.
And it's a damage waiver. It's not insurance,
Yeah.
so it can't ever insurance will end up on a long-term record.
Got it.
They're not an insurance company,
Yeah.
so it can't ever go on the record. So you
Smart.
can
I
destroy
did not
as
know
many
this.
rental cars.
Smart. Good to know that
I've
for the
known many
future.
people to be banned from rental agencies.
Yeah, you do get dinged a little bit.
Pretty quick.
I do know about that too. Yeah, not personally.
No,
Just from
Not
stories.
yet.
I love Enterprise.
Not yet.
A number of years ago, a couple of my friends had picked up a vet from Hertz, and what they did is they took it to drag strip. I can't remember which one it was, but one of our local drag strips out there, and they plumbed it for nitrous,
Yes.
and they filmed the whole thing.
Shut up. That's awesome.
Did they return it with nitrous?
No. They took all the
What's
lines.
this? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
What does this do?
they took all the
Damn,
lines
damn,
off
no.
and returned it. And several months later, Hertz found the video, and they're banned for life at this point.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hurts donut.
That was Matt and Tom, by the way.
Yes, of course it was.
Yeah.
Oh my
So-
gosh, how funny! That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You gotta love the rental car stories. Everyone has them.
Oh,
They're so fun.
I took a Stratus off-roading in New Hampshire probably 15 years ago. So.
Nice.
See, that's when you gotta buy one of the old rentals that has like 200, 300,000 miles on it, and then just burn it to the ground. That's when
I
you should
don't
turn it
know
into
what
an off-roader because you
happened.
don't
I don't
care.
know.
Go get a little Isuzu or something and turn that into a mutter.
Right.
All right. Well, at this point, we're button up right on the end of our time here. So where can everybody find your work and your website, your social media presence, all that stuff?
Yeah, you can go to LGE-CTS.com for a website. For Instagram, you can go to LGE_CTS Motorsports.
Okay.
And plug those charities and everything again.
Oh, yes. We have AXC, the Alex Xydias Center for Automotive Arts, and we have Real Deal Revolution, so realdealrevolution.org.
Yep. Very,
'em out.
very good cause.
Awesome.
And thank you for both doing the show. I have to thank our gracious host Magnaflow for once again, shelling out a solid third of their booth to our silly
in the
little
main
efforts
hall.
here. And I'm
they're
Chris
pretty
Hayes,
fun.
and
Patrick Taggett.
and this has been Fuel Cult. Thanks for joining us.
Great.
Awesome.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
so
us.
much for having us.
There's
Absolutely.
something afoot at the Special K.